What's up, fellow Sambarians? So today I was just gonna do some simple maintenance on my 97 Sambar Diaz, a KV4, and well, I'm in Washington and winter is coming. It was raining, and it doesn't have to rain very hard, and this carport that I'm in sounds like a goddamn war zone when it's sprinkling. So forget where I was going with all that, but I was gonna do spark plugs on my Sambar Diaz. Now there have been some questions as to what spark plugs are the best for your Sambar. I don't know, but I will say that Iridium has always been a better option for spark plugs in, you know, newer vehicles, even Raytheon or something that starts with an R. NGK's got out for even like the latest technology in spark plugs, which is pretty cool. I wish maybe I'll find a crossover part number for that someday. See if I can try to get some plugs to fit in this guy. I know I have them on my smart car, but anyways, so what is recommended from Sambar, I guess, Subaru, is the NGK BKR 6E-11s. Now that is for a fuel injected Sambar. If you are carbureted, that 6 will be a 5. It will be a BKR 5E-11. I know I already made a video explaining the spark plugs, but this time I'm going to be changing them in my van, so I can kind of show you how quick and easy it literally is to do spark plugs. I mean, they're right there. I had to do spark plugs on my girlfriend's Lexus RX 350 a few months back, and you literally have to take the entire intake manifold off the top of the car because the engine sits sideways, and it's just terrible design. So thank goodness this thing is literally, you could kick it if you wanted to. But anyways, yeah, so these are BKR 6E-11. 6 is the heat range. That is for the fuel injected versions or supercharged. Now, I wanted to go with Iridiums in my Sambar because, again, they're slightly better spark plug, better burn, longevity wise. I think they last a little bit longer than the V-Powers or the copper. They're not really copper, but you should. NGK's got some good info on their website if you want to do a little reading on some spark plugs. But here are the Iridiums. So this is when people ask, hey, what's going to be the best option for my Sambar? So BKR 6EIX, which the IX stands for Iridium. Iridium is usually a better option. Again, I think there might be even better options out there. You just have to see what crosses over with this style plug. I've seen some in Japan. I can't remember the name of it, but it was even better than Iridiums, and they were pretty pricey, even buying straight from Japan. So I'm not quite sure if it translated correctly as the material that was being used, but they look pretty fancy. Probably used in the newest, the latest Sambars. So yeah, so like I said, if you have a carbureted Sambar, BKR 6EIX-11, that 6 will change to a 5, the heat range. So carbureted is slightly different than fuel injected. And the -11 is the spark plug gap. So the manual, which doesn't hurt to have one of these, the manual calls out for 1.1 millimeter gap, which is roughly 0.43 inches on our Freedom units. solid numbers make a lot more sense than all the wonky fractions, because hey, I never was good in math. So I'll put some stuff in the description down below. I know this is taking forever, but I just kind of wanted to explain the spark plugs because I see people constantly asking, you know, what spark plug is my Sambar need and which one is good and which number, and I'll put these in the description. So basically all you're going to need is a 5/8 spark plug socket, which is not really necessary to have the rubber ring inside here that grabs the spark plug, because hey, they're right there. That's more important when the engine is vertical. Dielectric grease to put inside the spark plug boot when you put it all back together, and obviously your ratchet. And don't forget your torque wrench, inch-pound torque wrench. I have a snap-on inch-pound torque wrench, and I think it's 180 inch-pounds. I will have to double-check on that. I very much forget at this moment in time. So it's good just to do one at a time instead of pulling these all off and then being like, oh shoot, where does that one go? So we'll just start one at a time. So this should be cylinder 4. So we'll just kind of get it out of the way. And spark plug gap is very important on any car, really. That will determine whether your car is going to run properly or not. It will kind of misfire or detonate incorrectly. Don't quote me on a lot of this stuff. Okay, so there is our one spark plug. Also, I have been known to do this in the past. I would put anti-seize, like a high temp anti-seize, on the spark plug to prevent any corroding and seizing and breaking inside the cylinder. But according to NGK, I was doing research on their website. NGK says not to use any form of anti-seize on their spark plugs because the metal is special and it's not supposed to corrode. So don't use any anti-seize. So now, even though they say they are gapped at a 1.1, always check your gap, because you never know. Could have got dropped. The machine was having a bad day. So I am at just about 0.043, which is what we want. So we're gonna bid this guy farewell. Good luck, bud. Send her on her way. It's like her first day at school. They grow up so fast. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. We'll tighten it by that first, and then we will torque it. Torque is 180 foot-pounds. Just kidding, just making sure you're paying attention. That would be insane. We would probably put that spark plug right into the cylinder. Torque is 180 inch-pounds. Like I was saying in my other videos, get yourself a good set of torque wrenches. You're gonna need them. If you want your engine to last as long as it's supposed to last, you need to be torquing stuff. I can't stress that enough. Engines are designed for torque, special torque specs, and if you over tighten or under tighten things, that's when stuff stretches out, flexes, and will break. So 180 inch-pounds. So let's okay. One down. And before we put it back together, we're gonna put a little bit of dielectric grease, like maybe like a pea, like a little pea size. And you're gonna want to hear it click when you put it back in there. So now we're on to cylinder 3. So since these engines are very very high stress, hot burning engine, I would recommend changing your spark plugs, the spark plug intervals, a lot more than say your normal typical vehicle. Spark plugs are recommended to be changed every 10,000 kilometers, which is pretty quick. I would think typical cars spark plugs last for, I don't even know. I think the ones on the Lexus at like 100,000 miles or 90,000 miles or something. So yeah, 10,000 kilometers. That's like what's that? Like 6,000, 7,000 miles or something like that. Not very long. So yeah, every 10,000 kilometers, you're gonna want to do spark plugs. And thank goodness there's only 4 cylinders, and spark plugs aren't very expensive. Okay, that's it. They're just under a lot more stress than a normal car. These engines get very hot. Also, I don't know, I mean, you may be aware, but the longer the extension on your torque wrench, the more you lose actual torque. So just keep that in mind. You typically want to stay away from like a 1 foot extension if you're torquing something, because you're going to lose some torque in the distance there. And I also recommend plug wires too. Those will certainly help out. I have these blue NGK plug wires for sale if need. Also these valve covers. Also this oil cap. Also I will have more distributor stuff for sale soon for both carb and fuel injected. When you're threading spark plugs into the cylinder head, to your heads, make sure it's in there correctly. If you have any form of resistance, sticking that spark plug in there, stop, back it out, and try again. The last thing you want to do is strip a spark plug threads, because I tell you what, spark plugs are a lot stronger than your aluminum heads, and it will screw them up. You can tell how your engine is running by the spark plug. And usually there's a diagram, and you can see the condition of what the motor, or see what's happening in that cylinder by what's the condition of the spark plug. So I'll probably do a little research and see how we're running. And I just wanted to say thank you if you're watching this and you're subscribed. I just hit over 100 subscribers, so that's a pretty big milestone. Just started filming these videos less than a month ago, so super pumped to have you guys watching and following along. And I've had quite a few guys buy parts, so it's really exciting to see that, you know, people are paying attention and finding my stuff. And I'd love to see pictures of said parts. You can send all that stuff to my Instagram, OK Garage on Instagram. You can send pics and stuff. I can repost them. Kind of fun to see everybody's Sambar projects. You know, everybody's Sambar is a little more unique than the other Sambars. So it's always fun to see what everybody else is doing. Like, I'm running naked back here, no bumper, no cover. Because this exhaust here, that exhaust didn't fit with the bumper from the van. For the van, it requires that tube bumper, if you've seen the tube style bumpers. Gonna try to get one of those made up. I did not tweak that because I was talking. So yeah, it's fun to see everybody's Subarus, and I'd love to see pictures of your Sambar if you guys buy red hats from me or plug wires or whatever. Just a little community, another Sambar community going. Kind of fun. Come on, guys, it'll be fun. Okay. So, man, like 10 minutes, and probably 9 of those minutes were me blabbing. So it doesn't take very long to do spark plugs. I think on the older, well, I shouldn't say older, they're all old. The original plug wires can be a little bit tricky because they can be like really stuck on the spark plugs due to heat and time and corrosion. So you might have to work at them. But these are brand new spark plug wires I got. These NGK blue ones, like I said, I sell those. But let's give her a crank and see how she sounds. Fruit baskets.